In this episode of 10 Best Ones, we are going to check out the top 5 best 2-in-1 laptops in 2018. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I tried to list them based on their price, quality, durability and more. If you want to see the price and find out more information about these 2-in-1 laptops, you can check out the links down in the description and the comment section below. Okay, so, let's get started with the video. At number 5, we have the Lenovo Flex 5. The Lenovo Flex 5 is a mid-range, 14-inch, 2-in-1 laptop that would be a great option for everyone who has a limited budget, but is keen on investing in a reliable, and fast-performing laptop that packs many interesting features that will guarantee you an indeed entertaining user experience. From a design perspective, the Flex 5 has an eye-catching, black-finished construction that is made of a plastic lid that is supported by flexible, 360-degree hinges and an aluminum deck that holds an average-sized touchscreen and a backlit keyboard, which will drastically enhance your productivity, since you can type accurately through the day and the night. For your information, the connection ports include an HDMI output, a USB Type-C port, a headphone jack, 2 USB 3.0 ports, an SD card slot, and a Kensington lock slot, which is quite sufficient for the price you pay. So let's move to the next section and take a look at the performance. This particular model has a 14-inch, Full HD IPS screen that supports a touch input, meaning that you can use touch gestures, and the screen will register each of them effectively, but let's not forget that you can use this laptop in 4 modes. To be more precise, Flex 5 can be used in a tablet, laptop, display and in a tent mode depending on what you want to achieve in a particular model. In terms of the hardware, this particular has an Intel i5 8250U processor, has 8GB of RAM, 256GB SSD, and a GeForce 940MX graphics card, so in practice, you can have multiple tabs and numerous apps running at the same time, without noticing lag, which is really cool. Moreover, users were really satisfied with the visuals delivered by the screen, because they maintained bright and clear regardless of the mode you use this laptop, and I'm sure that you will experience the same. Finally, the battery life can last approximately 8 hours of use, so if you use this laptop for work or school purposes, the battery will satisfy you really much. To conclude, if you're looking for an affordable, yet quality 2-in-1 laptop, then this is the one for you. Moving on, at number 4, we have the Samsung Notebook 9 Pro. The Samsung Notebook 9 Pro is an excellent, business 13.3-inch, 2-in-1 touchscreen laptop that feels and performs premium, so if you've been looking for something similar, then you found it. Aesthetically speaking, the Notebook 9 Pro looks impressive, starting from its chrome finish, the 360-degree design and up to its backlit keyboard, so when you see it as a whole, this unit looks and feels business. In addition, the connection ports are spread along the sides of the chassis, and they consist of a single USB-C port, a 4K display out, 2 USB 3.0 ports, a built-in media reader, 2 USB 3.0 ports, headphone and microphone combo jack, and an HDMI port. Moving on, once you open the lid, you can instantly notice the keyboard, which has a decent key travel and feels comfortable on touch, meaning that you can type accurately and comfortably for hours without feeling fatigued, while slightly below, there is the responsive touchpad that is responsive enough to register every single swipe you make. But now, let's talk about the performance. First of all, let's start with its 13.3-inch screen with a full HD resolution that can adapt to your way of use, whether you want to use this device as a tablet, a display or as an ordinary laptop. For your information, the screen has an aspect ratio of 16:9, and has 350 nits of brightness, which is really cool because you will always have a clear sight of everything you're doing in a particular moment. When it comes to the specs, this unit comes with a quad-core, i7 8550U processor, has 8GB of RAM, 256GB SSD that can be expanded to up to 1TB, and if we analyze them closely, it means that this laptop will impress you with its blazing fast processing capabilities. Last but not least, the battery life is rated at 12.5 hours of use, however, bear in mind that this may vary in practice since everything depends on your use. To conclude, the Notebook 9 Pro deserves your attention, so give it a try and assure yourself of its quality. Next up, at number 3, we have the HP Spectre X360 15-inch. The HP Spectre X360 is a gorgeous, 2-in-1 laptop that has received a tremendously positive feedback from the users on the market, not only because of its design, but also because of its long battery life and specs that will let you use it for virtually any purpose. Design-wise, this particular model sports a thin, aluminum, dark gray body that is followed by shiny gold accents that are present on the edges, the touchpad, and the hinges, which in my opinion, is an awesome addition, because the aesthetics make this unit look indeed premium. Moving on, the connection ports are composed of a single Thunderbolt 3 port, a USB-C port, and an HDMI input positioned on the right, a full-size USB 3.1 port, a speaker grill, a 3.5mm and a full-size SD card reader on the left, so in terms of connections, you will never feel restricted on anything. Now let's talk about the features. The Spectre X360 is armed with an i7 7500U processor, 16GB of RAM, 512GB SSD, and an NVIDIA GeForce 940MX graphics plus a front-facing HP TrueVision FHD-IR web camera, so as you can see, this unit is doing its job really well for any purpose, whether it is business, casual or gaming. But what got my attention the most is the 15.6-inch WLED backlit touchscreen with a resolution of 3840 by 2160 pixels, and those who've used this laptop claim that the touchscreen is not only extremely responsive, but it is vivid as well, and I think that you will love the visuals you see. For instance, if you're watching movies, you will notice that the blacks and the whites are really well defined, and if you work with spreadsheets or with texts, you won't have any difficulties in reading, which is really cool. Finally, the battery life can give you about 8 hours of use, which is yet another good reason that says a lot about the laptop's quality. To conclude, the HP Spectre X360 is worthy of considering because it looks as good as it performs, and you will never regret your decision if you ever decide to purchase it. Moving on, at number 2, we have the Acer Nitro 5 Spin. The Nitro 5 Spin would be an excellent option for you, if you're looking for a 15.6-inch 2-in-1 laptop that combines an elegant construction with a powerful hardware that will let you play numerous games with a stable FPS. When it comes to the design, the Nitro 5 Spin features a black brushed aluminum construction that consists of red accents that are present on the deck, and the 360-degree hinges that support the display, while on the sides, there are the connection ports that include a single USB Type 3.1 port, two USB 3.0 ports, single USB 2.0 port, an HDMI port with HDCP support, an SD card reader, and an Ethernet jack, and once you open the lid, you can see the touchpad, the keyboard and the red-colored Nitro slogan that sits on the top. For your information, the keyboard is island style, and is composed of black keys with red linings that add a sense of aggression to its appearance, but what's also interesting is that it is backlit, so you won't have any difficulties in terms of typing or gaming during the night. In addition, the touchpad has a highly responsive surface, and houses a fingerprint sensor which will ensure that only you can log into the system, so you shouldn't worry literally about anything. But now, let's talk about the performance. This particular model packs an i5 8250U processor, 8GB of RAM, 1TB HDD, 256GB SSD, and a GTX 1050 graphics card, which is quite good though, since you can work and have an opportunity to play numerous games without any problem. Moreover, the 15.6-inch touchscreen is yet another great thing about this laptop, because it produces stunning visuals, and can be adjusted in 4 ways, including the notebook mode, display mode, tent mode, and tablet mode, so you can use each of them depending on your preferences. Finally, the battery life may last up to 10 hours of use, but keep in mind that this may vary in practice since everything depends on your use. Overall, I strongly recommend you consider the Nitro 5 Spin, and if you ever decide to purchase it, you will never regret that decision. And finally, at number 1, we have the Lenovo Yoga 720. The Lenovo Yoga 720 is a truly impressive 2-in-1 laptop, because of many reasons, starting from its 4K touchscreen, the powerful hardware and up to its whole, well-engineered body that will take your breath away from the moment you take it out of its box. From a design perspective, this unit boasts an aluminum, gunmetal gray, flip and fold construction that is accompanied by a 15.6-inch touchscreen with minimalistic bezels which is supported by 2 flexible hinges, an island-style keyboard, and an aluminum deck that shares the aesthetics of the laptop, and if you ask me, I absolutely think that you will love the design. In addition, the keyboard is backlit, and has a decent key travel, which is really cool since you can type accurately and quickly without missing a keystroke, while at the bottom, there is the touchpad which will register every swipe you make, so in terms of navigation, you will never face any difficulties. When it comes to the connection ports, this particular model has a single USB Type-C port, 2 USB 3.0 ports, 1 USB 3.1 port, combo stereo speakers, and even though they aren't many, they are quite sufficient. But now, let's talk about the performance. The Lenovo Yoga 720 is running on an Intel i7 7700HQ processor, has 16GB of RAM, 512GB SSD, and a GTX 1050 graphics card, so as you can see, you can have multiple apps and tabs running on the background without noticing even a slight decrease with the performance. Moving on, the biggest highlight regarding this unit is its 15.6-inch 4K IPS touchscreen, which is extremely responsive, and regardless of the mode you're using it, you will never face any difficulties, but instead, you will always have a spectacular sight of every content you see. Before we end, I'd also like to add that the battery life can last up to 8 hours of use according to the manufacturer, and if you ask me, this would surely be yet another good reason to consider this laptop seriously. To conclude, the Lenovo Yoga 720 is a must-have option, especially if you're looking for a reliable 2-in-1 laptop that performs exceptionally good. Thanks for watching, I hope you liked this video. If this video was helpful to you, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this in the future, and if you have any questions related to these 2-in-1 laptops, you can leave a comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can.